Hi folks, Jesse Randall, Forestry Innovation Center Director. We're outside of Escanaba here at the station, and we've worked into our prairie a series of food plots, and you've watched some of those videos already. We started to notice that there was quite a bit of damage on the food plot that is closest to the timber, and we kind of had expected that. I guess I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. I also didn't expect it to happen in such intensity. And so what we've done is we've come in here, and you can see behind me that the crew and I yesterday put together a three-dimensional fence. And this isn't a high fence. This is playing on a deer's depth perception. And deer can jump really high, but they don't know if they can jump far, all right? And so what we've done is we've set up a double strand of hot wire on the inside, and then on the outside about 3 feet to 4 feet away, we've put another strand of hot wire. Again, we're adding to the depth perception of that deer. And so we're gonna check and see how well this 3D does. And we may actually have to step the outside out just a little bit farther. And so now we've encompassed our low fertilizer, our medium fertilizer, and the high fertilizer rates within this area. And so over the course of the summer, we're gonna show you the differences in growth that the fertilizer produces, but then also an inside versus outside comparison of damage. Now, this is a fairly large area. You know, we're probably looking at just over a half an acre in size right here. And so it might be too big for the 3 dimensions to work. A lot of times deer also are not going to go into an exclosure if it's too small and they can see the other side. And so this is one example of how you can fence on a fairly cost-effective method out remote. So we have a shocker box. It's a battery with a solar charger on it going to it. It's pushing, you know, 8,000 to 9,000 volts. And now we've had to come in and we've put high-vis flagging on it. Mainly it's high-vis to us, but to a deer, we're looking at the motion. Hopefully they're gonna come up and investigate what this new fence is out here, get a shock, and then stay away. But we are right near a major corridor. They spend the daytime in the timber, come out and feed at night. You know, it's not uncommon for us to have 10, 20, 40 deer out in these fields at dusk. And so the pressures that get put on during the growing season really have an impact on our food plot production. We had about 8 to 10 turkeys out here, and so we're also looking at, does this deter them from going in and feeding on our food plot? So you'll see this. We're gonna take you over and we're gonna show you some cages that we've set out. Those are more to look at smaller scale, what the deer have fed on throughout the summer. And so not a large exclosure like this, more of a wired cage. So we'll take you over there and look at that next. So we're out here in the soybeans, and for a lot of the demonstrations, I had the student interns this summer make these 5-foot high cages. They're about 4 feet in diameter. And what we're really gonna see over the course of the summer is, as the soybeans get eaten, the ones inside the cage are gonna be our reference point. And so we have a series of these throughout all of the other food plots. So the beans, the corn on the other end of this, the sunflowers, the sugar beets, the sorghum. And what we expect by the end of the summer is most of the beans on the outside to be gone or really stunted, and the beans on the inside to be really tall, really full of pods, and really as a soybean field should be. You know, I expect to lose almost all of the beans on the outside, but that's okay. That's food for the wildlife during the growing season. And you know, I'm going into it with my eyes wide open, and I know that's gonna be the case. I understand that I'm gonna come in with a cover crop on top of this. And so I will have a fall food plot here it's just not going to be soybeans. And so you just have to think this soybean is providing summer forage. It's providing us a way to keep the ground clear and ready to be put into a fall field day with some cover crops here pretty quick. And so just wanted to show you another way to examine the success of a food plot is often determined by the deer during the growing season, and this is a good way to know how well your food plot would have done if the deer had been excluded from the whole system. So just another example of some things that you can do at home to see what the deer pressure is during the growing season.